Hey guys, I'm JanetOnOccasion, and today we are playing another Total War Warhammer 2 Battle Replay, and it's been a long time. It has been so long, but I'm back. But rather than dwell on it, we're just going to get to the replay. That's right, good old-fashioned Total War. So here, this one is a community cast sent in by Hazard, and it's a really cool one. So here you can see he's got a Rune Lord and two Thanes as his heroes and lords. And you see the Thanes actually have a rather nice ability on them, which will be very useful. Oh, the speed's actually quite useful, but I actually meant this one. 22% weakness to fire for nearby units. That is superb with this build because he has 3 Iron Drakes. That's right, 3 of them. He has one over there, one in the back. And these guys are great against Greenskins because they have that leadership debuff when they hit people. So if we have a quick look at their missile damage here, it has burnt. So -8 leadership for 10 seconds. That really helps break things. And against low armoured units, they actually just score through them. It's amazing. It's just absolute scorcher. Lovely. And Iron Drakes with Trollhammer torpedoes to take out the big stuff. So if there's things like an Arachnarok spider, yeah, you can bid adieu to that. It's beautiful. So very nice, very damaging stuff. And the Rune of Wrath and Ruin will also help slow things down, as well as the runes that the Thanes have. So it allows these guys to get more shots in, and the weakness to fire means they'll do more damage when they do, which is really cool. So frontline, miners of blasting charges, pretty typical frontline against Greenskins. Really helps just kill a lot of the goblins very fast, or at least just weaken a load of stuff so the Iron Drakes can start getting some more kills. Because the Iron Drakes, I kind of compare them to a Mortis engine. So, you know, they'll be shooting at something, just like the Mortis engine has that draining effect. It's more like a damage over time. So you'll notice they'll be getting no kills, and then a unit will get down to about half health. Another volley, suddenly they'll get like 30. It just goes up very quickly, but the damage is spread out a lot. Trollhammer torpedoes, they'll just kill anything they touch. They're slightly different. But these guys, they're often thought of as a bit rubbish, just because they don't... I know people don't consider them a damage over time, which they really are. You really need to think of them like that. So also there's a load of Dwarf Warriors of great weapons. So these guys will help a fair bit against Black Hawks. They can trade fairly cost effectively. There are Longbeards as well. But I mean, they're not great units, but they're cheap. They are very cheap. So Blackhawks will kill them one-on-one, obviously, but they can get some hurt in, which is nice. Grumbling Guard in the back as well, good for keeping things fresh. And the Dragonback Slayers are always just wonderful for killing anything big. And also slowing things down as well. They have that debuff too. So the Greenskins over here, you see they have some trolls. They have a couple of goblin big bosses escorting Azag the Slaughterer here. All on foot, so they're not huge targets for things. I say all on foot. Azag's on foot. The goblin big boss are on spiders. So that poison will help for chasing things down. And they are very quick on those spiders. Also here you can see Night Goblins, there's Black Orcs, quite a few actually, there's 3 units of Black Orcs. And there's not a huge amount of punch here, besides the Iron Drakes, Trollhammer torpedoes. Everything else is going to take a long time to whittle them down. This is very scary, you know, there's no cannons or goblobbers to just kill them quickly. So this is scary. But a load of big uns as well. Big uns don't really need them for the anti-large, but they do hit very hard, so it can still help. So some goblins in the front as well. Good mix, good mix. Some archers in the back. No rusty arrows, surprisingly. I guess these are more meant for killing slayers, and I guess just doing some damage over time to miners. But then a lot of the front line is armor piercing, so I guess you don't necessarily need the armor sundering. Not necessarily. So Goblin Rock Lobber, very nice. Can help, you know, really hit expensive things. If there's something like Iron Breakers, yeah, goodbye Iron Breakers. And that's great, you know, you really want to get rid of things like that quickly, and artillery is the best way to do it. Also, over here, you can see there are 2 Goblin Wolf Riders. These would be great for harassing that back line. So, speeding things up, you can see the miners are pushing forwards a bit, and they will be getting some nice blasting charges into these goblins, which is something you definitely want to do. The Thane is moving up as well. Rock Lobber is hitting these Warriors of Dragonfire Pass. Well, he's trying to. He's got a bit of a hit on him. Killed 1 model. Nothing major. But Warriors of Dragonfire Pass, really nice anti-infantry. And with that heavy armor, they're great for just killing goblins and things very quickly. They're, I think, the only unit that has anti-infantry in the Dwarf roster. If I might have... No, there might be another one. No, I think that's it. I think it's literally these guys. They just tend to be jack of all trades, all their units. So here you can see Rune of Wrath and Ruin on the Blackhawks will do some damage and slow them down. Over here, though, there's a lot of units and the Trolls are in reserve. The Trolls got to do a lot of damage, and this Thane is being gooned. And with the War, although he's got a good amount of armor, he's got 54 melee defense, he's going to suffer here. The Black Orcs are going to be hitting him really hard. The Goblin Big Boss is going to be hitting really hard. And now the Trolls are coming in. But some lovely Overwatch flames here. Getting some damage into them, but not a huge amount. Like I said, consider it a damage over time. 3 kills, but consider it a damage over time. It will do more against things like the Orc Biggins here that don't have as much armor, but still, consider it a damage over time. Over here, that front has buckled very quickly. Those Black Orcs got dealt with surprisingly fast. You know, the miners and the Warriors Dragonfire Pass and the help of the Iron Drakes and Trollhammer torpedoes really helped. Over here, though, these miners, for some reason, aren't able to stop these Black Orcs and Orc Boys and Night Goblins. Funny that, isn't it? But these guys are getting some work done. 26 kills. A lot of these guys have taken a huge amount of damage considering what cheap stuff they were up against. So, Warriors Dragonfire Pass continuing to chase. Goblins are trying to block their path. Over here, though, things are going pretty poorly. The Thane has shattered, I believe. He's somewhere. I'm not... There he is. There's the Thane. He's running. He's shattered. So no more weakness to fire here. Except, I guess, the Trolls that just have that anyway. But this is a very scary blob. A load of Black Orcs. Goblin Big Bosses. Azag's in here. It's pretty brutal. And the Goblin Wolf Riders have managed to get in the back to muck up these Iron Drakes. Luckily, these ones are still firing and just scorching through them. 22 kills. These ones, though, 28 at the moment. 28 at the moment, but we will see that will shoot up pretty quickly soon. Grumbling Guard still just loitering in the back, which is a shame. They need to be further forward so they can start using that aura, you know, that gives people vigor. You know, you want your guys to keep fresh, especially against just a ridiculous army that'll just keep coming back. You don't want to be on the move all the time trying to chase them down and, you know, getting hurt when they come back. So the Thane has managed to slow these guys down a bit, and now the Iron Drakes are turning to shoot, which is very convenient that these guys stopped. So suddenly, these Night Goblins are taking a tremendous amount of hurt. They do not have the armor at 15 to withstand any of that. So suddenly, 63 kills. Wonderful. So over here, more scorching going on. These Goblin Archers are getting just scorched to pieces by those Iron Drakes, and the Trollhammer torpedoes are shooting into these units. You can see the Trolls are having a tough time of it, and Azag has been taking a lot of hits too. So although they don't get the anti-large against Azag, they still just hit so hard that it's going to hurt. That Soul Blight really helping to whittle these guys down, though. Obviously, the armor debuff on the Dragonback Slayers doesn't mean anything, but against everything else, that's a bit of a problem. Here you can see the Rune Lord actually getting his hands dirty for once. It's rare you see them just wade into combat, but nope, he's getting onto Azag, and Master Rune of Wrath and Ruin was used on the Black Orcs to help whittle them down, and they will be taking a lot of damage just from stray fire from the Iron Drakes. Over here, the Goblin Wolf Riders are charging in. Another War has been procced, which will make things suffer a bit. So over here, Iron Drake still firing, and the Grumbling Guard managed to pin them in. You can see there's a huge exposed blob of Orcs here that will take a lot of damage from these guys. And they're doing great. 82 kills on some Iron Drakes is wonderful to see. So they're getting a lot of fire in. These Orc boys are going to start moving up, though, and that War is causing some problems, but this has suddenly just tipped hugely in the favour of the Dwarfs. Azag is almost toast, and these Iron Drakes are just getting so much damage into this mix. But the Rune Lord is struggling. He is being chased by these Goblin Big Bosses, and that can be difficult. But the Slayers have managed to shatter Azag. They really need to turn back to try and back this stuff up, but it looks like the Rune Lord might just win this engagement. You might just win that, while these turn around to try and bail out their other Iron Drake bros, which is pretty nice. Huge armor piercing for the Iron Drakes, going to be great against the Black Orcs, and the leadership penalties are going to really help break this stuff. Because the Black Orcs, you know, they're obviously immune to psychology, but just general leadership debuffs from units, they're not immune to that. And it will help cause some damage. Way over here, these Black Orcs finally managed to wrap up these two units of Dwarf Warriors that have been keeping busy for a long, long time. And over here, sadly, the Trolls have run in to try and deal with these Iron Drakes after 132 kills. 132. Unbelievable. They're finally getting caught out. But the Thane is still here to help out. That Thane, I'm amazed he's still going. But nothing was fighting him for long enough. You know, the Iron Drakes kept breaking everything, which is absolutely wonderful to see. And now he's coming in for the Trolls, and the Trolls are wavering. Goblin Big Boss coming in to try and help, though. Over on this side, you see miners are trying to fend off these Goblin Wolf Riders, but the Goblin Wolf Riders will get the better of them. So over here, very few Slayers left. These Slayers are getting shot to pieces by the Goblin Archers, but those leadership penalties, there we go, they're broken. Here you can see the Goblin Rock Lobber trying to pound what it can, and here the Rune Lord is very injured. Way in the back, Iron Drakes are starting to fire again, but of course the Black Orcs are coming back, and you really don't want the fighting Black Orcs. Look at that, a lot of them have been caught out, and that armor piercing is tough. Iron Drakes rely on their armor to stay alive, not their melee defense. 28 melee defense is pathetic. It is absolutely terrible. So they will just get chopped to pieces by heavily armor piercing units. So the Thane is trying to keep this stuff busy, but against a Goblin Big Boss poisoning him and a load of Black Orcs, they're just great for dealing with that kind of unit. It's bad, but the Iron Drakes have managed to get out. 132 kills on them. Miners are coming in to try and help, and that Goblin Big Boss has lost that duel. And these Black Orcs, they're not doing so hot either. And now, huge amount of flame coming in, try and deal with these Orc boys. That's the thing, if these Orc boys break, that's just more units broken nearby. It's going to make those Black Orcs freak out a bit. Here, though, Night Goblin Fanatics, there's only 2 left. Only 2 of, those are the Warlords boys, 8-peak loonies. That's the one, it's the 8-peak loonies. I don't know why it doesn't say the name half the time, but anyway. They're coming in, but it's only 2 of them. It's only 2, so that's not the worst thing in the world. And it looks like these Black Orcs are starting to suffer. Okay, way over here again. These guys are getting chased off, which is nice. The Dragonbat Slayers, they're just going to keep chasing by the looks of it. And back here, there is 1 unit of Black Orcs that has had the Master Rune of Wrath and Ruin placed on it, which is going to slow it down tremendously. Which means these guys can get into range. You know, suddenly these can outpace the Black Orcs. And so that huge armor piercing from the Trollhammer torpedoes coming in, and their leadership is super low. And with the leadership super low, it's not going to take much fire to startle them away. So there we go, they suddenly break. Balance of power really shifting in the Dwarfs' favour. And this Thane is still fighting these guys like an absolute boss. But these Iron Drakes, despite their 156 kills, are finally getting dealt with thanks to the Goblin Wolf Riders being a pain. And there we go, they break. So the Thane is trying to get out of there. Luckily, Goblin Big Boss has shattered, so he's not going to be able to, you know, poison anyone. But sadly, the Goblin Wolf Riders will be able to keep pace with the Thane and let these Black Orcs keep up. So, now over here, you can see there are some fairly healthy Black Orcs. Over here, Warriors of Dragonfire Pass had just chased away something. It was archers, I think, they were chasing that whole time. They need to come back, but it's very easy to lose sight of something that's so far away. But they need to come back. There's some Dwarf Warriors and some Dwarf Warriors over there. Long Grumbling Guard coming in. Some Miners. There's a few units spaced out. But nothing is really close enough to deal with this Thane. And all these ranged units, they could easily just get charged by the Goblin Wolf Riders and shut down, you know? And that's not good. All you have to do is stop them firing and let the Black Orcs catch up and kill. But there aren't many left. But if these can catch up, that's going to be bad. Here, though, another leadership debuff. Beautiful. They run away again. Any wavering unit, these guys can just fend off so quickly. And that extra damage will help. It will whittle them down. I mean, 49 kills for these Iron Drakes as well. And these ones have mostly been focused on Black Orcs. So there we go. Army Gnosis takes hold, and that is a Pyrrhic victory. Absolutely wonderful to see. And I think a beautiful way to start, I don't know, restart the channel, I suppose. Obviously, a bit of a hiatus. So thanks everyone for sticking around and being patient. It's been hell for me. Probably more so than you guys, because, you know, this is what I do all day, usually. So, not being able to record anything is hell for me. So, I'm really glad I can start doing it again and get you guys some content. Because, yeah, I enjoy it, you know, I enjoy YouTube. So, it sucked to not be able to do it for a couple of weeks. So, I'm back, and that's great. So, awesome. Expect more. Expect a lot more to come. I'm going to try and focus on Total War for a bit. Initially, just to try and get like enough of a few days in advance of myself, so that way I've got more time to do other projects like Battlefleet Gothic and other stuff like that. So bear that in mind. That's right, this video's turned into a random PSA apparently. It was inevitable, right? It was bound to happen. But anyway, so things should get back on track is what I'm getting at. So yeah, soon everything will be back to normal, and that 2 weeks we won't have to worry about it. Now you guys can just enjoy 60 FPS videos instead of 30, and nicer graphics and everything being just better thanks to the upgrade. So hopefully everybody wins. Yay! Cool. So, as you see, Iron Drakes did amazingly. They did superb. That extra 22% damage, I mean, that's what that means, really. You know, that weakness, that minus 22%, you know, fire resistance or whatever, it's just 22% extra damage for all the Iron Drakes. And you can see that really did add up. I mean, these are the ones that were able to shoot into a group that had a Thane in it. The other ones were shooting into a group that the Thane immediately got shattered. So they didn't do so well. This one did great though, and it's so evident that that damage, you know, resistance debuff thing, that fire weakness imbuing, really makes a difference, and it is wonderful to see. Absolutely wonderful. Warriors of Dragonfire Pass, they did a fine job, but they were mainly just chasing archers down. They did help break that front line, though, with the help of the Rune Lord, so pretty great, pretty great. I love this build. I think it's really fun. I think Goblin Grenade here, I think could have done a little bit better with basically keeping the back line busy. You know, the Goblin Wolf Riders, they did pretty well chasing away fleeing units, but I think they should have been used more aggressively to stop stuff firing, because, I mean, 73, that's essentially 73 dead Black Orcs there from those Iron Drakes. They were focused on all the heavy duty stuff. They basically wiped out Azag. You know, it's huge. You really want to wipe them out, or just keep them busy, you know, because they're not good in melee. These guys won't be able to really kill you. Even if you can't kill them, you're stopping them from shooting, and that makes them ineffective. So I think the Goblin Wolf Riders could have been used to pin this stuff in place, and I think it could have been an entirely different game if that was the case. But either way, really well played by both players, and this one was a lot of fun. Flames everywhere. Lovely. So guys, if you enjoyed this, please do comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day, guys.